and good evening, Critverse, and thank you for joining us for yet another episode of White Plume Mountain featuring DM Luke, also known as DM L Dizzle, on the mean streets of Townsville. Is that right? Is that your street name?
Only by night.
Only by night.
By day, I'm a simple, mild-mannered reporter.
You're kind of like Batman. You're a reporter during the day, and by night you're known as DM L Dizzle, running the mean streets of Townsville and DMing games of Dungeons and Dragons, as all good high-profile gangsters do. Once again, you've decided it would be a good idea to join us on Crit and Miss and run another episode of White Plume Mountain, and I'm sure I'm not the only person who is very grateful for that. I'm sure there's a couple of viewers in the chat right now. Speaking of which, I have to do a big shout out to my good friend Evil Doer. If you love cartography, map making, and lots of other cool D&D content, make sure you check out Evil Doer on Twitch. Give him a follow, give him a subscribe. He's a cool dude, and I always jump in for his streams whenever I get the opportunity. But I think it's important that I mention that not only is DM Luke a wonderful DM on my channel, you have your own YouTube channel as well, Big Game Small Pieces. Tell the people about that.
Sure do. On Big Game Small Pieces, me and one of my fellow mates, we often discuss reviews on classes, races, and so forth. We're focusing on Tasha's Cauldron, but we pause that for Spelljammer. And the other stuff we do is adventure reviews and DM advice for how to run adventures and how to spot the weak points and make them strong points.
That's right. So if you're a lazy DM like me and you need other people to do the work for you, check out Big Game Small Pieces on YouTube and steal all of his ideas, because I guarantee you that they're better than my ideas. But I'm going to stop boring everyone by prattling on. We're going to get this action going because we have an interrogation to get to, and I don't want to deprive the Critverse of that. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Luke, and I will see you all, lovely people, very soon. Before I go, though, make sure you redeem those crit coins. Give the players advantage. Natural 20, guidance, health potions, wild magic surges, or if you're a really good guy, buy Luke a natural 20 for one of his NPCs. And on that note, over to you, Luke.
Thanks, man. Well, we'll start with quickly running down the line, a quick introduction for people for your character, what you're like and what you do. So working along, I can see that my wife is first up without a picture, playing Hakuna Matata. Rita, do you want to introduce us to Hakuna Matata?
Hakuna is a Leonin bard, a lion beastman bard, who cares about his lovely mane and just wants to be an adventurer for fame and fortune. Mostly fame.
Give me that beautiful hair, long, beautiful
That's
hair.
it.
Sounds good.
He is a stunner.
Who we got next? Bruno, played by Ben.
Okay, yeah, so I'm a hill dwarf. I am a Circle of Wildfire druid, and just can't stand this world, and I need to purify it with fire. Let the regrowth begin.
Fire. So, Ross with Halafatosis.
So my Hala is a Minotaur who is a fighter champion, ex-soldier, whose hobby in life is to make cheese, but is really bad at it, but really good being a soldier. So goes out, gets money, tries to do a next venture, and tends to fail. So he's in here with these guys to earn his next round for his next adventure of cheese making.
No worries. He's supplementing his side business. And we've got Rowan playing Rolk. You want to tell us about Rolk?
So playing a wood elf whose forest got burnt down by somebody. It could have been anybody. He's on a quest to gather as many feather token trees as he can and bring the forest back overnight. As it.
Feather tokens. Damn you and your feather tokens. Right, well, tonight the group have been adventuring into the dungeon of that is White Plume Mountain. This is a classic adventure. Funhouse Dungeon, one of the most famous, been around since late 79, I think it was invented. Like, it was one of the first D&D adventures. And it was thrown together as a job application. Here are my best rooms. And the group of TSR threw it together and said, this will make an adventure just nicely. The group are gone down the west path, and they've been walking through a wet dungeon full of water. They've come up out of it. They've clambered over environmental traps, at least 2. And they've now just recently beaten a team of knights that waited for them as they went from one room to the next via a slippery slide, a suspended stream that travels through the mountain and pops out in a room that was waiting, had an ambush in wait. Our characters are now ready to process their long rests, which I believe they've all done. Meanwhile, they're going to conduct an interrogation on one of the knights that they managed to keep alive. Let's take ourselves over to the dungeon. Remember, guys, we're in the top left-hand corner.
Oh, my spider's still there. Good spider.
No, he's probably going to be around for long.
I'm going to feed him one of the knights.
We're going to separate the live one from the other
Spider.
ones.
Eat this guy.
I'm going to pull out that wand I found and tell the live one, tell us everything you know about this dungeon. I'm going to fire this wand at you. Now, you may think you feel unlucky. I don't even know what this wand does. Could heal you, could kill you. That's it. Lucky punk.
And we sort of make him do that whilst the spider's munching on the corpse in front of him.
I'm going to start searching the other knights and starting with the boss that we killed.
Yes.
And see what I can find.
Find on their persons? All right. Okay, we'll come back to you who are searching bodies. The spider's happily munching away. We'll probably back up to our knight who's... we just moved a few people. It is that knight. That's the one. Back in there. You move the dead. And every now and again, one of the knights and a dead mage comes tumbling through the water as it rides the water slide around and then continues passing down and cutting laps around the water slide.
Okay, I have a whole action to grab him next time he comes through.
Not a problem. You're able to wait a little while, and you can tell the knight's body is coming around the water slide because it gets a red tinge about it as the body starts coming around, and you can then snatch out of the water.
Ugh, dirty. Wash myself off.
What's the plan to do? Are you just piling up bodies, or are we going to do something with this?
Just piling up bodies and going to search them. See what they got.
No worries. I'll leave you to it. Back to the interrogation then.
Is our guy still out cold, or is he starting to wake up, or is he awake?
I think he's came in and bludgeoned unconscious, so that'll give you time to set up. How are you going to set up for this interrogation?
I'm going to set up one or two of the bodies that looks like they're already in a chair being interrogated.
Oh,
and
yes.
then have him only be able to sort of hear what's happening, so he can see the spider. So is Rowan's instant fortress still there?
Oh no, I packed that away.
Alright, he packed it away.
Yes, that's...
I've got my spider for a little bit longer. Should we weekend of Bernie's wrap one of the dead knights up like a cocoon, but weekend of Bernie's him so it makes it look like we're wrapping him alive?
Can we convince the spider to wrap him in silk and hang him from the roof, and we can sort of do it to the rest of them and sort of ask them questions they don't ask, and we just stab them?
When the spider shrinks, does the web it bins shrink as well?
That's already out of the
Yeah,
spider.
it's
It's been shrink.
I'm just picturing this.
Yeah, or the webbing tightens up and then he just drops because it can't hold him up anymore. All right, you're going to setting that up. This area was made for living. There are tables, there are things set up. You can see that there's poop buckets, there's all sorts of tables, chairs, food, and things left around. So looks like it's been habited. You're able to set up an area with tables, chairs, if you please. How are we setting this room up to fool the currently unconscious guard when he wakes?
Ooh, I do have a spell to change the landscape.
You want to use that now, do we?
Kind of do now.
Okay.
I try and activate that wand I found earlier.
No worries.
Hallucinatory terrain lasts for 10 minutes. Within this
yes, I
cube,
got it.
you can change the look, sound, smell of some other natural terrain. It can be a swamp, a hill, a pond, grassy meadow. Ooh, maybe we'll make him think he's on a tropical island.
Okay.
Or the abyss.
I don't know. Are we just messing with him, or are we trying to make him feel like, unless we make it look like hell? We're on the other
Had an interrogation
Are we
technique.
good cop, bad cop? Who's the good cop?
Confess your sins.
All right. You're going to randomly try this wand.
Yeah, I'll point it at a corner that's kind of away.
Okay. All right.
Opposite
Um,
from-
Most wands and things these days require a tune. Oh, I'm looking at a staff that I was going to nick these powers from. This isn't in your spell list, and this isn't something that your ranger / rogue has any ability to attune to and use. This particular wand that's being drawn from a staff. So, although you fiddle and shake with it and knock the thing around, it doesn't do anything at the moment. You can't make magic come out.
Okay.
Misuse magic device.
Yeah, I misuse the magic device too. I'm just going to randomly have a go! See if
I'll
magic password!
I shall give the wand to Zibard.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Go with. I can't make heads or tails of this damn thing.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, Bard's not on the list either. They didn't make it easy. You know, the old ones, you could easily use things that were in your class and ability. If you didn't, you had to make a check. You know what? I like the old ones. Sometimes we can bring that back.
Hey, Charmander, go set that guy on fire. Okay.
Head on. Back to bed. Alright. Well, because I like the old rules and the old ways, we must support the old ways. Did you want to make an Arcana check? See how well you can go at just magic making this wand work for you.
Oh, I am going to try this.
I am all over that.
Ah, I could not have rolled worse.
I got the worst thing I can possibly do. Right. We gave it a go. Failed miserably.
Okay.
You
Right.
pick up the wand.
I turn around and look around. I'm like,
Hang on.
what are you guys doing over there? And I cast guidance.
the rogue ranger's already on this. Rook is already playing with the thing. Yes, you're
Too
catching
late for that.
and
What are you
pulling
doing over there? Hey, guidance. Yeah, you got this. Add another D4 if you need it next time around.
That's not gonna.
It's not going to help much. So the worst thing you can do happens. The wand is going to backfire. You thought you were holding it the right way, but it turns out you weren't.
I made it work. I did.
It seemed like such an obvious thing, but the wand backfires on you. A burst of cold air comes from the wand, exploding across, hitting primarily just... Oh, where are you when you did this?
I'm probably facing the prisoner.
You said you went to a corner, didn't you? Somewhere away
Oh
from
no, I
everything?
was yeah. Say I was down here.
All right. As you wave the wand around, coming up with the magic word, A burst of cold erupts from the wand, working its way up your arms, freezing in place, slowly petrifying you as it locks you into an icy stance. Everyone?
I would say help.
Rook is frozen over in ice.
I got this! Create bonfire!
We're just going to put it underneath him. We're going to set this up in some way. How are you going to reheat the popsicle?
Oh.
We just put upper on him, so it looks like we're roasting one of the knights.
I've got something better. Charmander! Warm him up!
Go hug.
Snuggle.
So now Charmander, my little squirrel fire spirit, is going to scamper all around him and slowly melt him and warm him up.
Okay, Ron, you failed it and did the worst thing you can possibly do. You're taking 27 cold damage from freezing over. As you were absolutely did the exact wrong thing you could possibly be doing today.
Oh.
Certainly. Charmander is now down there heating you, and slowly as you freeze and the ice shatters around you and you slowly start to come back to warmth. But it's going to take some time to get you out of there. You are out of the interrogation because you are now having to be reheated. Should have stuck him in the mud.
We need to make this faster. I can make this faster.
Oh, no, wait. Good.
With little Ben rubbing his hands, really enjoying getting to cook one of his teammates for the benefit of his team to bring back life. He manages to freeze and thaw one of your teammates. So we're back up to Hala and Hakuna, who are working on the interrogation. Let's take it away. What's the plan?
Plan is to set one of the other dead knights up in a chair near the current one.
Yep.
Strap the other knight to a chair and face him to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
When the knight comes to, we start interrogating the dead one, and he doesn't give us the answers we want. So we either set a bonfire under his chair or whatever, and we get the bard to make some interesting noises for deception, and then we turn him around and start asking him the same questions and get the bonfire start lit under his chair.
Okay. Well, our knight's the one over here is he's regaining consciousness slowly. The dead knight's up here in the north against the hard wall. We've got him tied to the chair, and you're putting a bonfire underneath it?
Yep.
Are we? Ooh, yeah, I'm there.
So Helen's
Leaving
being the bad
Charmander
cop and I'm being the bad cop.
Sorry, what was that, Hakuna?
I was saying that Helen's being the bad cop and I'm being the bad cop. Like,
Bad and badder.
Pretty much. And sort of we're yelling out questions to him, going, if you don't answer, you're going to cook in your armor. And start going through the questions and sort of turn around to Bruno and sort of say, you got more questions?
Okay.
Always got more questions.
The knight starts regaining consciousness and looking up from what you guys are doing as he gathers his thoughts and what's his surroundings. He sees the other knight slowly being engulfed in flame. I guess you guys will look over to him now that he's gained consciousness and he's staring up at you guys. What do you want to say? What's your intimidation?
My intimidation is going, well, this guy can't answer any more questions. Turning over to Bruno, you put too much flame under it. First up. All right, next guy, let's ask him more questions. And I roll for intimidation.
John, no! Swine! Why would you do that?
And 23.
Oh, wow. All right. Damn them not giving us thorough character sheets to work with. He's got no skills. All right, that's intimidating. You've got his attention as he looks horrified at his mate Johnny burning alive. He was only 3 days from retirement.
Oh, we should have searched him before we burned him. Oh, whoops.
All right. So now we're going to go into what do you want to know from the knight as he's sitting there, sniveling, snot coming out of his face, looking up at you like, "Why did you do that to Johnny? No, Johnny!"
Asking him
How
who's
long have you
employing
been
you?
here?
How long you been here? How do you get fed down here?
One question at a time. Right. It's going to take some time to answer. All right, give me the first one. How are you?
Who's employing you down here?
The mage Caraptus. He's got us working here. Look at the brands! The brands!
Can't see a brand on that guy. It's all charcoal. Where's the brand on you?
He cooked him, you horrible cow!
Yeah, probably overcooked him by now. Come on.
It's just a revenge for how many cows you've cooked.
He takes a moment on that one. Not about as fair play.
All right.
How long have you been here?
About. Oh, geez, those particulars. In the dungeon, we've been here for 2 months, and prior to that, we were at the indoctrination center for I don't know how long. 3 months.
Indoctrination Center.
Indoctrination center.
Interesting.
That's what they called it.
How are you surviving down here for 2 months, just standing next to a magical river?
The caretakers bring us food. That she beast and her husband. That
How
unholy
often do they
mutant.
come?
Daily. They come around and feed us, usually daily. Unless someone's in the way, and then they wait and hold back.
What do you mean by in the way? Would they know before they got into the room?
To get here. You went past those undead. They'll know. They'll have to raise them again.
I don't remember. Did we kill them?
The undead at the end of the microwave corridor?
Oh yeah, them ones. Yeah, we killed
Oh,
them. Yeah. Oh, that'll be a
Okay.
while then.
They'll know you've come. They won't advance until we can send a runner back to let them know. Or to
Maybe
meet them.
maybe we go with you and you become the runner and tell them it's all good.
No. Okay.
I'll be the runner.
Have you access? So, what do you know about this dungeon?
We were trained just how to be here. Pluto had to leave. We all had to go. We couldn't stay in the town. Netherwinter saw Pluto. He was one of the nobles. Fortunately, he went mad, and we all had to leave town real quick.
Huh.
Okay, so they've corrupted the town, recruited everyone, pushed them into here, and they supply them daily, give or take. So what other rooms are there that you know of? How did you get into this room, and how do you get out?
We don't get out. We're to be here to stop anyone from progressing, trying to capture the legendary weapons.
You know where the legendary weapons are.
No, we don't have them here. We're just here to stop people like you trying to steal them.
So how did you get to this room? What did you go through?
We were brought in the same way you were.
And which way was that?
Down the stairs, left. We were then had to take our equipment off. We were led past and told about the undead that would eat us if we tried to leave. Then a barrier, temporary doors were placed down so we could climb across a room. And then we were led up here, and then we've been here for the last 2 months. He is pale and hasn't seen a lot of sun.
Okay.
Well, we leave him tied to the chair and withdraw and have a few quick discussions.
Okay.
Quick, huddle up, people.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go down to Rolk because his legs are still frozen.
We're all huddled around a half-frozen roll.
I
we have
go down.
marshmallows to cook on the bonfire in front of Rock.
We need a bonfire?
I thought there was. I was going to put to the group, how about we use this guy as the bait going into the room? We can sort of put a gag on him, put the helmet on so he can't do anything. Tie a weapon to his hand and put him in first and see if any traps go off.
That sounds sensible to me.
We've got plenty of Bernies now. We can just toss them around.
So can anybody give me some heals?
Oh,
Anybody?
yeah. Give me a minute. Okay.
Or we can get this guy to carry his mates as the weekend at Bernie's.
Or we can wear the armor and pretend to be the knights.
There you go. 11 points.
I think the horns wouldn't show through the helmet at all.
Oh, you can just zhuzh your hair around it. We
Need
can
more
do
than
something
that.
about that.
Please.
More, please.
Yes, please. I have another.
Has anyone got a healing potion? We've got a healing potion in the...
There you go. How's that?
Yeah, that'll do. You got something real small.
Okay.
Berries.
Don't forget, we've got a healing potion.
Berries.
Created some of them at the start of the dungeon, I think, didn't you?
I think my magic stones have expired. They have.
Good berries should be.
Okay. So, while we're down there doing my powwow, I produce flame and help Thor, Rock,
All right.
and heal him up a little bit.
Hey guys, I found this awesome wand. Magic comes out this end, not this end.
Okay, so here's a pen.
Independence Day.
Arrow on which way the magic comes out.
Just so everyone's tracking, this is the pointy end.
This is the point. Okay.
All right. Well, we can wrap up a long rest and a few things. What do you want to do now? Are we going to... you're going to tie a weapon to his hands and force him down the corridor, or are we going to...
If you join us, we could get out of here. But first, I might need to incinerate the rest of your party after we search them, which we haven't done yet.
I'm totally going to investigate the area.
You see him trigger a bit. He's struggling with the process of having to go against his command. Something about the indoctrination center is probably weighing heavily on him, not enabling him to go against the wishes.
Okay.
Let's just bind the gag and leave.
Oh, you can definitely
maybe
force him. You can intimidate and force him. You've got the advantage. You have it over him. Or you can leave him here. Or you can tie him up and throw him in the river.
No, because if we leave him and anything that can get reanimated, it's just going to get reanimated. So I think we need to ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Yeah.
Start the healing.
Viking funeral. Get the canoes back. Put them on it.
I'm not dead yet. You'll be dead any moment now. Don't worry about it.
You lived a long and wonderful life. There you go.
I'm only 29. All right. With your investigating the room and checking around everything, you are able to detect the slight movements and dust absence and scratches on the floor. With that, investigating in, you're able to discover that there was a secret passage here to the south.
Ooh.
Sweet. I'm gonna scout the passage, staying in the gloom.
How big is the passage?
Not huge. A thin passage of 5 foot.
I think
By
the
about
spider's
8
staying behind.
Is it gloomy?
It is-
Okay.
You disappear.
You need to eat, wrap up, and lay some eggs before you shrink back down. Okay, buddy?
just pump those eggs out. Come on, buddy. Come on. How long does
Pump those eggs out.
that spell last there?
And what are we doing with the last guy that's still alive?
Well, I intend to sort of intimidate, tie his hands with the rope I've got, put a gag on him, put the helmet on so he can't yell out, and sort of say, come along with us and poke him along with the halberd.
And force him on?
I'll let them know I found a dry way out.
Okay. Did we find anything on these knights apart from their great swords and their armor?
Yes, we're going through them. They're going to have a number of trinkets and things like that that they've used for gambling and biding their time. They're totaling up all the money. You're going to come up with about 327 gold pieces.
Did anyone have like card machines to go under the sleeve?
Oh, the old piece. I like your creativity there.
Because I'm like,
yeah.
could we show the one or two of the knights had that under the sleeve and go, hey mate, this is why you may have lost the cards. They're not all so friendly as you told them.
Blokes
As I told you.
cheating you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Head in?
Ah, damn it, George! He took me everything I had one night.
Here's a hammer. Just give it a few taps on the head.
I had to do all the chores that day. All right. Yeah, you can find some basic stuff on them. You'll also another 5-6 gems. You'll some pieces. They're all wearing various sorts of armors and things like that are available to them. They had their heavy crossbows, their bolts, their great swords, and they're all wearing plate. So you can easily anyone who needed to dump their armor up, which I don't think there should be many of you.
Oh, that works for me.
All right.
How much food and that did they have on them?
Yeah, on the tables was a number of delicious sweet meats, cakes, wines, waters, and nectars.
So they were all provided for.
Yes, someone comes and feeds them once a day to give them all their food.
Ooh.
As you know, you got to feed people to keep them happy.
No, you brainwashing them at the start.
Brainwashing helps. Brainwash is key. Then keep them fed, and you have no rebellions.
Okay.
Tip from Big Game Small Pieces: don't if you plan on raising a force, is brainwash them first, then feed them. All right, so we're ready to head south.
Nothing else of interest. Is there anything? How do we want to leave the room? Are we going on a ashes to ashes policy, so nothing can be regenerated and they have to repopulate?
A quick one with the armor. They've got full plate, correct?
They do.
I may be pinching that.
Well, show them in your size. You can easily scrap together some leg armor for your arms, and for your leg armor, you can put breastplates or waist armor.
As a playable Minotaur,
Yes.
you're all medium sized. You're not large.
Shouldn't have been that way. You should have been large. I got to think about bringing the large. I still want to play a huge character. Like, well, you guys go in the dungeon. I'm going to wait here. I'm going to deploy my little robot or something like that. All right, so we blindfolded him, put his helmet on him. We're leading him. He can't see anyway since he's human and needs light, but you're not leaving the light behind, so you're just pushing him along. He's not going to advance quickly.
Well, as soon as she hits the first corner, we can sort of go, oh shit, you don't see. Go back, grab one of the lights and give it to him.
steer him around. Yep. Easy. All right, heading south.
Charmander, rest of my
While we're walking, I'm going to take my length of hempen rope. I'm going to add a bunch of really easy to climb.
No worries. How are you for moving yourself, Akuna? You fine?
Yep, I can do that.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm going to investigate this here door.
No worries.
Oh, oof,
You're doing good on your investigations
definitely a
tonight.
door.
I've identified it. It is. I just said it was wood of.
It's carved in a neo-Gothic style.
Holy crap.
No worries. Simple door, untrapped. Doesn't seem to have damaged from the swelling that some of the previous area doors had suffered from. Looks like it's used regularly, as you can see by the marks in front of it, and shows no indications of being trapped. Having a scent of the area, because you're rolling so well, you're able to tell that and listen to the door, and you can get the sensation of a large area beyond. It is much greater than any areas you've been in before, and there seems to be a lot of noises coming from the far side, and the smell of what was the Minotaur isn't too close animal.
So, why are we going south? Why aren't we going north and exploring what looks like an open door and another hallway?
Oh, that's where we came from.
That's where you came from.
We found the door they used to actually get into the...
That's
You
the
came-
room.
I shall open the door.
That's the canoe room.
Slowly and carefully, we'll peek.
The door. All right. This is where it's going to take a little bit of explanation, perhaps a few photos to understand exactly what we see here. So if everyone can just pause where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Here is what you have in front of you. You have a large open area. You have a platform immediately to your front. It looks about 10 foot wide, and then it pushes off in either direction. The roof above is about 20 feet above that, all stone and made out of work stone. And the area opens up and extends for much further than what your dark vision allows. Looking at it, it's a tiered system where the top layer around the outside is a rocked, paved area, and then directly to its front is, at the same level of it, is a water-filled moat that goes around. Transparent walls seem to support the water and keep it in place, where it then drops down 20 feet. Below there, you can see just on the far and to the south that it seems to tear step its way all the way down and in, like an inverted ziggurat, which is a stepped pyramid. There is a dry layer after the water-filled layer, and then level with it is another water-filled moat. Then dropping another 20 feet below is its final area way down at the bottom. And down at the bottom there on the south, you can see a door way down there. Let's have a look at some photos for to help people get what's going on. Oh, I've seen a skull, I've seen a take advantage, I've seen a posture check. So, Ben, everyone who's on camera, posture at the ready. Skull for those who are drinking their soft drinks. And let's throw some photos in so you know and understand what we're looking at. So Sven's got a few photos for those of you who are playing at home, and I've got a couple here, the group, that will also show up. So going down to your... here is the ziggurat.
Oh,
Whoa!
cool.
Here is the ziggurat from the original drawings. And did I include it? Did I sent it to Sven though? So I might have to just quickly throw it in there. But there is a side view, cutaway view, to help explain to you how the levels work. Terrace side view. Let's see if I can throw that.
So the wall set holding up the last wet layer, is that visible? Is that glass? Is that something, or is that something we have to investigate?
So you have to investigate. But
Okay.
you can see through the layers holding up the water, allowing you to see in. Seeing top layer, giant crawfish swimming around. Then below it looks like giant scorpions crawl around in a desert environment. The next level is a water level where sea lions swim. And then in the bottom layer, manticores prowl the bottom area.
Ooh.
Okay.
Break the glass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
How wide's this actually?
You can see the squares. They 10 foot, sort of. They're 10 foot cubed. So this is 10 foot in front of you. The water space is a 10 by 10 area. That's for. So it would have been stepped, but then they've put a supporting wall in, which is why from the top of the glass here, or glass, to the next layer down, you've got a 10 foot piece of glass and a 10 foot bit of rock. So it's a 20-foot drop down into the scorpions area. Then it would normally step down again from the scorpions into the sea lions, but they've got a 10-foot supporting glass keeping it in, so the water level is level with the ground. Actually, between the scorpions and the sea lions, there is another lot of glass, and they're stopping them from mixing. If you have a look at the side cutaway. I see Modbrew telling everyone to cast Fireball, but just so you're all tracking, creatures that are totally immersed in water, fire will work on them, but they will have resistance to it.
How well lit is this?
So, quickly, before anything happens, I grab Halitosis. Dude, you've got to trust me. I've got something for you. Do you trust me?
How bad can this go? Let's do it.
I mean, you know I like fire.
There are lights down near the Manticore's area.
I do like my coat. If you singe me,
No. It won't affect your coat. I'm going to cast Fire Shield on you. You will have a protective shield of fire around you. If anything attacks you, it gets 2d8 of fire damage. I'll stay back and do what I can, but then that means you get an extra attack, and I'll send Charmander forward, and we can burn our way through this place.
Looking at you, the creatures have shown some interest. They are moving around, and it does look like they're expecting something as they maneuver themselves around.
How dark is it up at the top level?
Shadows reflect through the water and through the glass palings, giving an odd, eerie, wobbling effect to the light. Though there are probably shadows way in the dark corners if you crouch, the area is probably lit with low light around the general area, but does mean you can't find dark shadows along the walls of the top layer.
Whoa. I've had it. Guys, I've had thought. The last room, they were brainwashed and put in here to do a certain job and fed really well. These guys have probably been brainwashed, maybe, and put in here to do a certain job. We've got a whole
been fed well.
back there, and food and wine. Can we distract them?
Where is it?
Is
The
it worth a
knight
try?
Sorry.
that you have
There
with
we go,
you
perfect.
has made a bit of noise in his armor as he's been
24
trying to work
damage.
his way down the corridor away from you.
Yep, that bloodies the creature.
Hey, I pulled my
And then
string.
stab it with the
Hey,
dagger
get
as well.
back here.
Alright.
19.
Yes, guys. Let me try something. I want to sneak,
So, what, so in custom rolls anyhow, then.
sneak as sneakily as I can.
6 damage.
Sneakily.
Alrighty.
Slowly,
Still
making sure there's
standing,
no crayfish
still
near.
fighting strong, but it is
And then
bloodied and doesn't seem to be
slowly.
happy about it.
Your
Sneakily.
presence has alerted the creatures, and they've gotten a little bit active.
Are the crayfish going to come out of the water?
Keeping as far back as I can and traveling down slightly to where there's no crayfish, I want to dive into the bottom of the first layer,
Mhm.
activate the instant fortress.
Okay, I like.
Oh, okay. That's where you're going. That's going to break that wall really
Maybe.
well.
Or maybe not. I have no idea.
No, well, this is going to cause some things to happen. So while I start getting a few things ready, why don't we roll for initiative, and then we'll come into the turn order as soon as we're ready for this to kick off. Remember, click on your turn first.
What did I roll? I must have rolled a
How the hell did I get 16? I'm a +2.
You're doing well tonight.
Oh, it's going to be so much fire.
Okay, so there is a lot of creatures. This is one of the rooms that this dungeon is known for. The inverted ziggurat is not something you come across very often in D&D. I've only ever seen it in this dungeon. They
Right.
say people would be considering copying if they did it, but this is the dungeon that's known for its
Right.
inverted ziggurat.
Ooh.
Right. We have a hallway and a door. I suggest we use them.
If this knight doesn't behave, we'll have a.
So, Rob,
Hey,
if your fortress doesn't work, you get the heck back in here, and we take on one of them at a time.
Why
Or
are
lure
we
them
here?
into the hallway.
Yeah.
But they may not be able to come out of the water.
Do you
I
want
don't
to
think the
tell
ones
us?
on the lower levels can climb up.
You want to
Yep,
tell us
but
about that instant fortress while I'm doing this?
You can break that first wall with interest for fortress.
So the instant
Back in a minute,
fortress
guys.
instantly turns from a small model of a fortress into a 20 foot by 20 foot by 30 foot high fortress. Previous editions it was adamantine, I believe. Still is. Immune to all but magic damage, and causes 10d10 of bludgeoning damage, failed save to anything that basically is in the area it grows into, and half as much damage if anything makes a successful save.
Okay, this is going to get different. Righto, Rourke, you've made the call. You are dashing in, diving into the water, and then activating your fortress with you in the same area as the fortress activating?
Activating in front of me.
In front of you.
It deploys.
Yep, alright. In front of you, even better. Alright. Put yourself in as you run and dive into the water, leaving the rest of your team behind.
I run, dive, and then
Draw me a
drop
box.
in, like this area.
No worries, it's 20 by 20, isn't it? So another square bigger.
Another. Yep.
Get rid of that one. Alright, just the one creep. Okay. Racing in, diving into the water, hoiling your token, then diving into the water. You give the command word. What's your command word?
As a.
And the fortress goes from a small little chess piece sized item to an extremely large, tall tower as it instantly appears. The crayfish must make a DC save, doesn't it?
DC 15.
DC 15. 16. Half damage. You just want to roll a 5d10 for me there?
27.
27. And is forced out of the area, back along this way. Now, what that's also going to do is just blow out those glass walls that are surrounding it. And luckily, you put it in a position where it can kind of hold on its own, but the tower does rock ever so slightly, as it's not fully on supported ground. With the busted glass, water starts pouring in and around, right in front of where you are, to the south, and a crawfish, as it starts spilling down and filling up the giant scorpion's den. We're into initiative. Is there anything else you wish to do since we've triggered this event?
Get out, get out, get out.
I want to just rope trick and climb up my rope with a bunch of loops that I put in earlier. Near the roof and just hang out there at the top of a rope.
No worries. You probably could have just thrown it in the water, stood on the ground 10 foot higher, then climbed up from there. But yeah, I get where you're going. With your rope, you quickly swing it up onto the crenellations and start clambering yourself up as you lift yourself out of the dropping water levels and start clambering up the side of the tower easily. The scorpions pause from the noise as they all stop and have a look around. As the shattering of the glass-like substance as we know it gains all of their attention. The manticore down the bottom realizes food ain't coming and looks up there as to what it can do. Not seeing anyone because you're far enough down the corridor, he buys his time. This one, aware that something's going on, walks back a bit to try to get a better look as to what's going on. Giant crawfish over there, as the water does pull them slightly towards the watering edge. This one quickly realizes it's going to run into trouble and starts swimming away from the rushing torrent of water, trying to drag it away. As it moves that far back, our knight, with Hulla yanking back on the rope, keeping him back, he's blindfolded and can't do too much and comes to a stop. Please, just let me go! Then we come round to Bruno. Bruno, you're standing in the corridor. Rourke has just gone running off and diving in, then all of a sudden a tower has appeared. You've seen this before. What is your plan?
Now, is the tower looking uneven and isn't going to tumble into the bottom of the ziggurat?
The rushing water is probably having an effect upon it, as the arrow slits inside the tower wouldn't stop water from rushing into it as well. The weight inside the tower is likely to, with the rushing water, eventually go at some point. Maybe it's sitting there unevenly at the moment. It looks somewhat stable, but maybe with the wrong move, anything could happen.
Wrong move, eh?
Yes. I was wondering how this would go, depending on where he was going to put that. I thought it just flipped straight away and just start smashing its way down the way, and I thought that'll be an interesting way to do this.
Right. Now, what do I want to do? Okay. Suppose I could wild shape into a bear and push it. Or how, like, when the glass wall broke, how resilient did it seem to be to the tower? Did it look like it gave a bit of resistance, or it just sort of shattered immediately?
Oh, it just blew out. The tower would have blown it out
quite easily. Well, with that, I take out one of my magic stones and aim for the lower a glass wall where the sea lions are and
Nice.
attack it. No, not that one though. Do I break it?
A glass.
The 2 bludgeoning.
Yeah, no, it's only going to... Water level's only just starting to drop, or so down. So we're still running through the first... Like, this is all happening right now.
Oh, yeah.
You've thrown it, it's chipped on the glass, but it hasn't left a crack or
Hold that. I'm finished my action. I'll hold where I am. Charmander know to. I really need to attack much. Just yeah. They're still confused on flame seed. Anything that comes in front of it that makes sense.
Giant crawfish. This one's battling against the water. Let's make it see how well it can resist getting dragged down. Not well at all. Trying to get away to decide what it's going to do next. It bypasses the giant scorpion, crawls over it, and tries to slink past. The scorpion's going to attack it because everything's in a panic right now and no one knows quite what's going on. But that's going to miss. So, Manticore, this one, seeing what's going on, backs up, panics, and lobs a tail spike that in the archway of the back wall to the north. The creatures have become all aggressive and aroused at the moment, as everything isn't going the way they want. Giant crawfish here is getting dragged down with the water and then tries to swim against. It realizes it's running out of water and is going to clamber up onto the land for support. This guy's getting pushed back by for some water that's bursting in and is probably going to try and scuttle away. This sea lion here, unyet affected, so it splashes around a bit. This sea lion down here, unyet affected, but concerned about the noise, is going to move about. There's a lot of things about water's pushing this guy back, and he's then going to scuttle away from the water, looking for dry land. Doesn't really amount too much. Hakuna, what do you got?
Well, I just heard that the Manticore threw a spike towards the doorway where we are. I grab it.
A tail spike?
Yes.
What was it? Yeah.
Yes.
So you're going to have to come down here to grab the tail spike, which will expose you in the doorway. Exposing the doorway leaves one of the Manticores held actions to lob a tail spike up at you. Now that you've exposed yourself, 17 hit you. With no, you're on the platform, so that's fine. 17 hit you.
Yes, it does.
Points of piercing damage is that you cop one in the shoulder as you reach another one out. You've got 2 now.
Yay!
I'm going to collect them. What else are you doing?
I don't know. I'm just like, I've got 2 spikes! Woohoo!
Yep.
And I will, I will run behind the fortress over here.
Nice. Go get some cover as you zip around the fortress.
I've got 2 spikes. I wave them in the air. Woo!
Yep. No worries. Alright, so You lob around there to hide behind the tower. Scorpion, it gets pushed back with the water, and then it tries to run away as they clamber around, panicking as their tank's filling up full of water. This crayfish, can it swim against the tide, or is it going to get sucked down like the other? Ooh, it's fighting a torrent of water, but it's sort of slowed down. It doesn't have to go down, but it can't reach you up there either, Rolk. So it's right below you, slashing around. Hala?
Well, I'm going to sort of move towards the doorway a bit to get more eyes on, whilst pulling the other knight with us.
In the middle. Throw him in the middle.
That may be another resolution a bit later.
This is Sparta!
This is a distraction.
Had I thought I had the running speed, I would have ran back to the other room and sort of grabbed some of the other bodies and like throw them down like confetti. You can eat them as I sort of hack on you from the back.
Mm-hmm. Could have worked. It could have worked for you until you aggravated them.
Yeah. So pretty much sit in the doorway, see what's happening.
Right, well, you can see the creatures are starting to get panicked. Which puts them in a dangerous situation. A huge tower is sitting there rocking precariously as water is dragging it down, and the weight of the tower is being distributed around differently now that it's filling up full of water.
Push it over.
Since I've got the halberd, I'm sort of going to see that one of the giant crayfish is close to the tower.
Yep.
I'm going to move to have some security by the tower, but also use my 5-foot stabbing stick
No worries.
to stab at the crayfish.
While it's sitting there trying to not get dragged down, you launch an attack down at it.
For 21 to hit, for 9 damage.
That will hit. As you give it a quick stab as it's trying to fight against the torrent. So it's not having a good day. Is there anything else left?
Yeah, do the second attack, why not?
Why not? He says.
18 to hit,
18 will hit.
for 5 damage.
Not the big hits, but I'm going to start wearing them down.
Well, it's
I mean,
not one.
see how we-
damage.
How we do with this tower? Okay, these things are still swimming around, agitated. Giant crayfish back here is going to get dragged, then it's going to have to fight that by trying to swim around, maintain something. As we go to the very bottom, this guy's going to get pushed around by the water and then try and scuttle away himself from the water as their tank slowly starts to fill. Rolk, we're back to you. You can finish climbing and get yourself up and in onto the tower.
Well, I'm going to take pot shots to the crayfish directed to my south, who's in.
All right. You're probably going to get a little closer as you've got 15 feet of tower between you and the edge. And you've got the
Does
wall
that mean you go
ocean.
to that southwest corner of the tower?
No. I'm going to climb in the trap door on top of the tower
Okay.
and then make my way across to the
Ride that tower down.
Ride the tower.
No,
Right,
I'm going to
right.
this corner. No.
Ride the tower.
Quickly
Right.
climbing up on top of the tower and reefing open the door on top, you then dive down into the tower and clamber down, jumping across nimbly. This is going to take up your action and all your movement to climb, move, open, get in, zipper over, and do things. So that's kind of going to use a lot of your stuff. I'll give you a bonus action if you've got anything else left.
I'll use my bonus as a cunning action to take a deep breath and get ready for my next round.
As you walk over to that point of the tower, it starts to rock. Giant Scorpion. The water, once again, is pushing everything around, and it's having to clamber over all its mates, which is making them agitated. The manticores have seen and taking pot shots at you guys, so around the towered area, more spikes glinting off the adamantium tower and lodging themselves in the back wall. Those manticores have a ranged attack, and they seem to have a few of them. Crawfish is going to get dragged around as the water keeps dropping faster and faster. We're probably going to, in this round, going to get down to somewhere around about I'm going to say down to about 5-ish feet, so we're about halfway through. And it's pulling quite closely. The knight that you've ran off with, Hala, were you still holding onto the rope?
Yes, I was trying to drag him into the combat.
That would have slowed you down because you've got him effectively grappled and you are dragging him at half your pace. So if you'd have done that maneuver, you'd have to have let go of the rope.
Okay.
And taken off. He's still sitting there. You've got other teammates who can do something about it, but you effectively would have had to have let go of that. But he's not really aware of it. He would have just realised he stopped being pulled all of a sudden and still standing there blindfolded. Bruno.
Right. Okay.
He cast a fireball behind the tower.
Yeah. So, my guys on. What do I really want to do?
Push the tower.
Everyone wants to push the tower. Push it over, man.
If you've got range, there's 3 manticores very close together if you've got like a nice balloon effect.
We've got, thanks to Mark Hillman Music, Mark, who I did one of my reviews with, I see an extra health potion, I see a take advantage, I see a wild magic surge, I see a redeem natural 20. There are points to be used for those who need them.
No, it's all 15 for cone. Right. No. I'm going to duck around. Oh, geez, that's most of my movement to duck around to there. And
5. You're a
now,
dwarf.
can I'm going to cast Flame Shield on Halitosis.
Hang on, let me just check your distance there. You were above Charmander.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
You've got 30, do you, as a dwarf? Nice.
No, hang on a second. I'm just going to go back.
It's been a while
Nope,
since I played.
25.
Yeah.
So, okay. Gonna move to the door, just to the doorway so I can see Halitosis.
Yep.
And I am going to cast Flame Shield on him.
Good. Alright. Flames erupt and surround you.
Anything that attacks you, Halitosis, you get they automatically cop a 2d8 fire damage.
No worries. This also leads you having to concentrate on this spell.
Yep, and I'm going to give action to Charmander to move forward.
Yep.
Ooh, actually, I can... Where's his sheet? Hang on a second, I've just got tabs in the way. Fire teleport. Okay, I'm gonna get Charmander to... What's the range on that? 5 foot. Go down here and cast Fiery Teleport.
Yep.
On that one. So DC 16 save for 7 points of damage.
6, but he does have resistance being completely in fire. So
3 points.
how much damage? 7? We're taking just a little bit of fire damage.
Yep.
Magical,
Mainly
but they do have resistance. Yep, alright.
distract him from my concentration. And what's going on with the knight? Are we throwing him into the mix, or Ross, like Halitosis, what's going on? Is he further?
Sort of let go of the. I've pulled on the string and then let go to try and give Akuna Matara a hand stabbing this crayfish. I'll probably sort of going to turn around to see where he's up to next turn to figure out if he's run away again or not.
No worries. We've got a tower delicately hanging over the balance. We've got characters armed up behind it.
Push the tower.
I'm so going to push this tower.
As it swims around agitated in the area. Manticore, back down here. It bends. I'm going to give you a +2. Oh, you're a dwarf. You're short. I'm going to give you a lot of cover there, Ben. You can have so +5 to your AC as this Manticore takes a shot at you with its tail spike. Does an 18 hit you with +5?
Nope.
No worries. It's going to run a miss and hit into the glass paneling down here, just in front.
Woohoo!
Crawfish is going to start crawling along the ground. Just check its movement there. That giant crayfish. No, I can go further that. As it starts clambering around, just over. Oh, they're finally tucked down there. They're not being affected by anything yet. Trying to power through. I want to drag around a bit, and then it's run down a bit. And Hakuna, what are you doing?
Well, I look at the tower and I think, push it, push it,
Shit.
push it.
Do
Join the
it.
champ. Push.
But I know I probably should kill things that's like in front of me. So I'm thinking the closest.
You've got cover.
Yeah, that's true.
Take
So
your shot.
I'm thinking I'm gonna peek around this corner here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and look at what's happening.
Looking over Harlan's shot. Oh, it's looking around that corner. Yep, you can see a
Yep.
giant crayfish making its way down towards you with all its bits and pieces. How many? Is that it?
I was just thinking, oh, is that too far? I want to do thunderclap.
Could be.
What else do I have? Well,
Check thunderclap. I think that might be a bit far. You've still got some movement.
yeah. All right, range of 5 feet.
Right. So you've only moved about 10 feet. You can still go 1, 2, 3, 4. You could make it down to it and then use thunderclap, and you'd be right up against it.
Do I risk it? Yeah, I'll risk it.
Heroing didn't come. No.
Without any risks. Fiend, I will give you the applause that I...
No worries. Cast your spell. Launching back and coming in for a huge clap behind the tower.
Nothing.
It gets to save. It gets a. Is that a Constitution save? Usually it's that's sort of thunder damage. 9. It fails, taking those full 3 points of thunder damage, and the tower edges and shakes a little bit more.
Did I push the tower? I'm pushing the tower! Unintentionally! Sorry! Oh.
Sorry, not sorry. Scorpion, giant crayfish. This one's struggling. It's getting stabbed and it's getting drained down. Let's see if it first can do anything about not getting drained away with the water. Nope, it doesn't. Right, it's scrambling along, gets sucked down and gets drawn down into the next level, slammed up and against the next clear wall and then washed down. It then continues swimming with the running tide. In a confused state, looking around. Hala, you're up.
I'm sort of going to look back to see if the knight's with us. Can't see him. So take a few paces back and grab hold of the rope and sort of pull the knight back out into the area where we are.
No worries. You haul on it.
Toss him!
To fight you really well because he's blindfolded and unable to judge distance, space.
Didn't think we blindfolded him. I thought we just more gagged him so he couldn't scream out.
Yep.
Unless someone else blindfolded him.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Anything else?
That is... I don't think I'll be able to make it to the edge and stab stuff.
No.
Charge the tower! Charge the tower!
Shove action.
Nah.
Shove action.
Shove action! Come on!
Should have said I pushed off from the tower to get that extra couple of feet.
Yeah. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Sea lion, swimming around, no problems. Crawfish. Which one? This one getting dragged back down there as the water levels are changing. It's swimming around, trying to get a concept of what's going on. Scorpions all getting flushed up to the back as water starts filling their cage. Rolk, back to you. The tower is moving and shaking in an unsteady fashion. The ground is full of water that burst in, came in through the arrow slots, and now can't drain out of the tower, making it base heavy. What's your plan?
I'm gonna shoot that crayfish in front of me.
Good plan. Shoot away.
Other than that, really. I'm hidden, so I have advantage. First attack. Does an 18 hit?
It does.
Oh no, sorry, I steadied way.
You did.
In that case, 26 points of damage.
Drops it.
I'll shoot at the giant scorpion that's on the other side of it.
To the south.
A second shot for a 20 to hit.
This one down here. Is that what you're going for?
Please.
Hits. Or how much?
50.
15. You loose a volley of arrows. One pierces the crayfish, letting it go limp as the water starts pushing its body and corpse around. And shooting this last scorpion, you plug it with an arrow. Anything else?
Take a deep breath and calm myself.
No worries. Hala, you have presented yourself. I'm going to give you, much like the dwarf, you've got +5 cover as another tail spike. It's lodged up for a 16, which ain't going to come anywhere near you. Another manticore. As its go, it can do much the same, growling from down the bottom. The tiny manticore. It does seem strange that they haven't flown up yet, knowing what manticores are. Crayfish starts approaching you, Hala, and comes in for an attack. Shh. Oh my god. In its panic state to rush down there, it's just snapping either side of you and stunned from your disorientated from your thunder attack. The knight dragged down and he's like, please, let me go!
Okay, throw him!
Bruno, you're concentrating on your fire shield and you've got your mates around.
I'm
Fire shield on,
ready.
don't I?
So, I'm going to grab that knight and toss him into the mix. As far as I can, pretty much straight down, right in front of this giant crayfish.
Alright, so we're looking at something like one of those old cowboy grabs where you roll backwards and kick him over and flip him over you.
Yep, so strength check.
Alright, we're going for a huge shove action here as you try and cowboy flip the man over.
Yep, so basically use all my momentum and sort of judo normal strength. Oh no, you've done it for me? Really? I didn't roll that.
Athletics.
It was natural D20. I got that.
You get a natural 20 and he gets a 1? As you grab the blindfolded Gagged man on his armor, roll back with your dwarven weight and hurl him over you, he goes flying through the air and landing as he drops down some distance as most of the water is now gone and he's sitting in about 2 foot of water looking at a giant crawfish that's trying to swim away.
Hey, look, did that crawfish try and attack me or Charmander?
Neil hasn't had to go yet, I don't think.
What one
Halitosis,
was...
you have a fire shield. Use it.
That's what I was going to get at. It was like, was after the tail spike, something did 2 attacks? I thought, was it just confirming if it was me or was Charmander?
I think that first one got washed away. The 2 attacks were at Rita.
Rita, okay.
Rita's character. Anything else left? You've got your Charmander there, Bruno?
Okay. Charmander. Flame Seed. No, sorry, not Flame Seed. Fiery Teleportation on the giant crayfish.
Not a space that it can see behind that tower.
Okay, my bad. Okay, so
in space you could see from where he was. By all means, it's getting pretty dry down the bottom there.
Oh, yeah, why not? Let's piss off 3 manticores.
Is that within the distance you can see?
60 feet.
Can teleport up to 15 feet to an unoccupied space. Am I reading the same as you're reading?
Range attack. Oh yeah, 15 feet. My bad. So
it's
the other side of
teleports.
The other side of the giant crayfish.
I like what you're doing, but I think you're stretching that ability a little bit too much there. Those who are learning and playing and watching along will pick up bad habits from you, Ben.
Yeah.
Righto, fiery teleport. That's a save, is it? Dex save. Makes the save, so takes the half damage, is it?
Really? It's in 2 foot of water. Come on.
And the water's no longer fully submerging this creature anymore, so he doesn't have to get the resistance from the water. So he'll take half damage from the save, not half damage from the water.
Oh, yep, same.
Giant crayfish is dead. Manticore. Right. It sees the knight being flung over and landing down there and tries to take a shot. Another impact on the glass in front, cracking it ever so slightly. This giant crayfish in front of you, Hakuna, is going to take 2 more attacks at you. Did a 17 hit you? 17 hits you, right?
17 does hit me, yeah.
Ah, it's about time. 17 hits for... Not automatic. Wow, max damage, 12 points of damage, and you are grappled as it grabs on. Scorpions can't do too much as they twitter around. Sea lions. Swimming about, sea lions, swimming, giant scorpion, giant crayfish. Being dragged down this way, then realizes the water is starting to slow down now as it's streaking out at a slower rate, not having the pressure behind it. It's going to swim up and have a look what's going on. Hakuna, you're up.
Okay. I am going to try and get out of this grapple.
No worries, that will take your action to get out of the grapple, and you must make a athletics or acrobatics check.
I just wonder if I can use my claws and start slashing.
You can just attack it. Yeah, you can stay grappled and just attack it. You've got no disadvantages against that. You just can't move.
Okay, I'm going to claw him.
Yep.
Or it.
Go for it.
Get your filthy tentacles off me.
Fishy. So fishy.
Oh.
Yep, that'll hit.
And I am going to use my... Actually, no, I'm not going to use that yet. I'm going to slap at it.
No worries. Do you have extra attack?
No, I've got a daunting brawl. And then I have my my defensive duelist, but I can't use that because I haven't got my rapier out.
Yeah, that probably would have made more sense to have that ready.
I was just playing with my stingers.
You be careful. It's just you, and you're not pumping out as much damage as it is. Giant scorpions. They're still huddling down there. They're now starting to swim in a 5 foot of water as they're clambering around, trying to get themselves out. The 5 foot was allowing them to clamber up and try to get onto the glass, dividing the next layer down as they're trying to support themselves.
Well, just thinking about this, that wand maybe might be useful.
Hey, aim it at some water and see if it freezes.
Hello?
Yeah.
I
thinking
don't
about
know. I don't know how to use this well.
I'm going to stick my head out. How many? One,
You have a flame shield.
6. I'm going to give something a bit of a whirl. I'm going to do a dash action to try and end up next to Hakuna Matata.
Oh, yeah?
Help me! Help me!
Then as a bonus action, do a goring rush so I get a attack with the horns.
Ah, yes. Yep, you've charged, yes.
For a 19 to hit for 10 damage.
Will damage. Does it push or is it just a damage?
Just a damage.
Damage. Righto. We're still sitting there. Coming around. Alright, here's where you're gonna get into trouble. Watch out, Charmander. 17 to hit. 17 to hit. Yeah, I think that hits there, little Charmander. Ugh. 10 points of damage. As it tries to grapple fire, but is unable to latch on.
Why 10? There's a 1 and a 5.
It's got bonuses.
Alright, okay.
It's just not tied into the attack. So
Yep.
That's 10 damage. Roger.
no worries. These things are starting to swim around and sort themselves out. Rourke, what are you doing?
I'm going to lean out the other arrow slot and fire at the crayfish attacking Halophatosis and the pretty one.
No worries.
That's it. I'm
Does
the
a
dancer.
21 hit?
It does.
26 points of damage. My arm helps so much.
You shoot a bolt straight through it and just killing it.
Yay!
And then I shall take another shot at the scorpion to my south.
No worries.
25 hits.
It does. These are beasts, not known for their armor class.
Excellent. 21 points of damage.
Once again, wounding it greatly, but it's holding up not too bad. Yeah, got it.
And as a bonus action, I shall lean into the wall. Getting myself a neck
All as the tower creaks a little more. Right, giant scorpions are crawling around. Manticore, what can Manticore see? Can't see too much because the den up there. So Bruno, if you take a shot, you've got +5 to your armor class.
Yep.
You've got mostly covered. Nope. And the next one next to it, 21. Will that hit you?
I have an armor class with 21 with that, so I suppose yes.
11 piercing as a thorn manages to find the perfect arc, striking you for 11. That'll require a concentration check of 10. Make a constitution save.
Where's my concentration?
Now you do have all those extra bonuses that have been paid for us. Thank you, Mark. So before I tell you the results, you can...
Yes. I will take one.
Well, you roll with advantage. You've got roll with an extra D4. You've got just natural 20, I believe.
I wouldn't use the natural 20 just yet.
Just for the concentration check.
No, not for concentration check. So concentration is wisdom, isn't it?
No, it's con save.
Yeah. So what do we have to go with that? That's not a natural 20.
Yeah, well, you've got a +3. You can use the bless like we did last time. I believe we've got one.
Yep. I'll go with blessed.
That's a D4.
Yep.
16. Well, you can wait to see if you use it. You know you make the pass anyway, so you don't have to use it.
Okay. I don't use that just yet.
You maintain concentration. These manticores, it's actually their turn, not their held action. I've been reading that wrong. I should be firing a lot more. So they're going to lob some more tail spikes up at you. 21. And 11. So you're going to take another 5, make another concentration check.
In a minute.
2. Yeah, the only one they can see. 16. So you're going to take another 21 for 5 piercing and then a 22 for 7 piercing. I need 2 more concentration. 16, you got it. One more. 22, you got this. You are a concentration king.
7.
Focused, cool and collected. That is Bruno. Right.
I'm gonna lay down on the ground.
Hey, Rita, you're teleporting.
Even further.
Do you have to go down there as well?
This crawfish is going to see the guy that collapsed just in front of him and see the Charmander that's been burning him. He's going to make one attack at the knight. Did you strip these guys of their armor?
No.
That guy's on.
He's going to miss the knight. He's going to take an attack at Charmander for 23. Which is going to hit, doing 11 points of damage as it tries to once again grapple onto you. And you are flanked in there and just copping blows everywhere.
Okay.
The knight, blindfolded and dumbed, is clambering up, and he's going to start removing his binds and take on around him as he's now sitting in about a foot of water and trying to get his knowledge. He sees the tower leaning above him, the creatures to the right of him, and he starts trying to clamber back up out of the water, taking his disengage action to try and get out, which is going to hold him up for the next round. Bruno, you're up.
Right. Okay. So. No, that's not high enough.
Oh, we lost Rita. This might throw out the visuals.
So. Pretty sure I want to use this. Yeah, 5, 10, 15. So, burning hands on this giant crawfish. And the knight at the same time, because I've just had enough.
Alright, burning hands as you race on over. DCC 16. Is that you back, my love?
Yeah, sorry, my computer died.
No worries. Sorry, I was talking to Rowan.
Oh, I know.
No, just level 1. For...
Level 1?
Yep.
It's Wild Magic Surge. We're going to use it. Alright, let's do it.
I have no idea what that does.
Am I rolling on this, or what have we got there, Sven? How do we use our Wild Magic Surge here? Sounds like Bruno's go.
Let's do this. Oh no, let's take the first one, not the second one. I double clicked because that's what I was doing.
What do we get? We got a 67?
67.
Alright, let's find out what you won. 67. Here we go. You are frightened by the nearest creature until the end of your turn. For those people who are watching, the frightened condition means a frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight and the creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear. Not too bad.
Wouldn't I still be up here then?
Well, you ran down to cast your flame hands, looking down upon the sight of the dwarfish. You panicked and ran off. And ran back. And you're actually removing the rest of your range to get out of there.
Okay, I'm back up here now.
You've got your little fire guy, though. He still will be defending itself.
Teleport and burn.
Righto. What are we making? More saves?
Yep. Oh, no, not really at all.
Isn't it a save? There isn't an attack on this. It's a save.
Oh, it's a DC 16 save, but I rolled a 1 on it.
Well, if the crayfish made its save, I rolled twice accidentally. Seems to be a thing going right. And the knight doesn't make the save. He only had 1 hit point, and so he is out of the picture. As he was trying to clamber back up. You got a kill out of it. Alright, as you run back, the Minotaur struggles to see you as it tries to stand up on its hind legs, looking around, tail at the ready, armed with a ready move to make its attack. Giant crayfish is dead. Take it out of the count. And giant rat, scorpion, sea lion, scorpion, sea lion. This one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Underneath the tower, swim around in the new water. As it can swim comfortably. Hakuna, you're up.
Push the tower.
I'll say it didn't swim so well. Come on, let's do something big. Hakuna? You're muted. You're muted, my wife! I hear her getting excited.
I just can't hear it over the music on this side of things. I couldn't listen up on my phone.
We've just got to click on me and turn the volume down, but let us know what you're doing.
Okay, well, let's see. I am going to... I still want to push this tower, but... Yeah, I want to push the tower! Yeah, push the tower!
You sure can. Now, you do have advantage available. You do have a natural 20 available.
Do I?
And a bless. Yes, thanks
Do
to...
it.
Of Hilda's
Do it.
Yes!
Which one are you taking?
Which one then? Natural 20?
There's a number of ones you can take. There's the nat 20, there's the advantage, or there's the bless.
If I was blessed to get this done, I'll put it in the God's hands with being blessed.
Blessed? Is that what you're going? It's only a D4 bonus.
Yeah, but 3 creatures get it, don't they?
I think this is just an individual bless for you for a check to make
Just the one. Okay, maybe I won't put it in some God's hand. Maybe I will go with the natural 20 to push this tower down.
Strength.
So push to use my strength.
Puff all your hair up so you.
Mhm.
It's hair. It's all in the hair.
Or would it be my acrobatics? I can try and
Kick-
flip off the
No,
tower.
this is
and
definitely a
push it over.
strength thing.
with
This
my
is definitely a strength thing. You're only going to take the bless, are you?
Yeah, I'll go with bless. Why not?
All right. Make a strength check and roll the d4 extra.
Okay.
Oh, man, if you're taking that advantage.
Oh,
Well, you're only getting a d4. Roll
Yeah.
your d4.
I'm just going to get a d4 out. No. And... Oh.
Heaving on the tower, it's too heavy for you to move on your own like this. It's going to take a feat of strength. Or many,
Many feet of strength.
many feet of
Many
strength.
feet of strength.
All right.
Hank standing next to you.
There's
I'm going to change my
Get there, okay. That swims about. Hala, you're up.
I am going to assist Halitosis doing it.
All
And
right,
my
so
plan
since
is-
she's already doing it, she is already giving you advantage.
So it's just clicking on the strength.
Strength.
I think I got advantage.
Really?
Is it with advantage?
It is with advantage.
Oh, thank Christ. And my plan is,
17.
if it starts to move, is to
Starts
jump on.
To move as it slowly starts freaking around, and as the tower starts to dip, Rowan, you can feel the water sloshing you around a bit as the tower slowly starts to creep. It's going to be a very slow falling over.
My plan is to try and jump down a level or two next
Yep.
to the giant crate, like hold on to it as it goes down a bit, and try and get down to the giant crayfish.
You want to ride the tower? Is that what I'm
a
hearing?
bit. Yep.
Surf the tower.
All right, so Rowan's inside a bottle full of water, sloshed around. Hala is going to jump on and ride it now that it's starting to take off. And Hakuna, since you're holding on as well, I'll give you the option as to if you're going to let go or if you're going to stay with it.
No, let's ride it.
How often you get to ride a tower coming crashing down into a
Manticores?
series of things?
How many things am I going
Only
to ride
once.
in this campaign?
Only once in your life. All right, I need to do a quick check. How big is this tower? Open it back up again. I think is it
30 foot.
30 feet
High.
high?
20 by 20 by 30.
Yeah, all right, 30 foot high, and it's going to launch itself off here and bury itself below. Right, as the tower starts to creep, you inside, who's been shooting arrows out of the arrow slits, start getting sloshed around in there, Rolf. Your focusing is you're getting thrown around by the internals of the tower as it continues to creak and make its way over. The other two who have just grabbed onto the base as the arse end and the base starts to lift up as the tower twists and falls, dropping down. What's it going to look like? Something. 30 foot. Let's see, what's 30 foot? 10, 20, 30 by 20. Not as big as I remember. Gonna come crashing down. The tower is going to fall, launch, hit here, bounce and crash, and then continue sliding since the base is now higher than the rest of it, as it finally slides down and gets lodged in the bottom as it comes to a final rest. Rolf, you've been bounced around inside this thing and sloshed about and slammed against walls and thrown around. make a athletics check to see how well you can swim and hold yourself on and stop being thrown everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're doing fine. You're holding on to an arrow slit as the whole tower is getting thrown around. And you two are at the base, holding on as the thing arches, rocks over, and then crashes, launching down. Is we're going to dismount the tower?
Plan was to dismount the tower next to the giant crayfish.
No, so you'd be running across the thing as the tower falls and leaping from it.
Mm-hmm. And then
No
try
worries.
and stab it as I landed. But yep.
Give us an athletics check for your jump to see how well you managed to get yourself across, over, and yeah, you'll be able to clear. Where were you going for?
Probably
Side of the
there-ish.
Yep. Yeah, you'll be able to leap down, launched by the tower. Shouldn't give you problems. How about you, Hala? You're right to ride this thing?
No, that's that. You
Sorry,
took
Hala. Yeah, Akuna.
Hmm?
What's your plan? You just going to ride this thing to the death, or to
Yeah, I'm
the?
going to write it down.
All right. Climbing check, be athletics or acrobatics to see how well you can lodge on except being launched from the tower if it kind of comes to a halt. Athletics or acrobatics?
I am going to claim my acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
You can see you're so embedded in third ed, Luke. It's like climbing, no, athletics.
Nah, that's climb check, though. I keep saying what I know. All right, let's see. That sea lion has to dodge. I'm going to give it a dex check to stop the tower from crushing it. It manages to get itself up and under an even area. Then, if only really that other giant crayfish has any chance of getting damaged. It's a shame it didn't lure more overboard. Do it faster at the right time. 3. It gets hit by a glass paneling that shatters and explodes all over it, taking a few hit points from the thing. The tower comes and settles itself, and all the beasts have been excited and aroused. You've now smashed the other layers, and water is pouring into the area where the manticore's laid. As it slowly keeps filling up at the base level, water is pouring from all levels, now down to the base area. Rolk, you're in a partially tilted upside down tower, filling full of water as it seeps in through the arrow holes, which is going to make it difficult to shoot at the base level where you kind of are. And then the sea lions get to zip around. Giant crayfish, it's running out of water and going to clamber around and drop down the base of the tower. Can't get over the next one. Ran out of move. Giant scorpion. These things are full of water, but everywhere's starting to now drain as the water is being sloshed around on all the levels and starting to drain back out into the lower levels. As we come back round to the top of the round, I also look at the time. It's 9:45. We are right at the point where things could go either way really badly for you pretty quickly, and I think we're going to bring it to a pause. How are the rest of you going?
Okay.
I mean, there's two
Yeah,
down.
good.
We've killed 2 of them, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, including the knight?
That's 3.
Great.
Have the torches gone out yet?
Yeah, actually, water's going to start filling up those lower levels, so the torches will extinguish shortly.
Yeah, I think there's one. Or in my plan is the manticores can fly out of the bottom level.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll
Not see the wings.
Yeah, we'll have to find out what happens to them in the next adventure. Unfortunately, we're taking a pause for a week. So it's going to be 2 weeks before we can find out if the characters can survive with this. Now they've launched the tower, rocked it down into the base of a dungeon, and the ziggurat, and can survive.
Nice. Alrighty then. Amazing. So what date can we expect episode 4 of White Plume Mountain? When can people come back and find out who dies first?
Yep. Well, we're still yet to die. We're not very fond on using a lot of these cards. I've noticed we're very hesitant to use them at all. Like if you don't use them, people will stop giving them.
It's anyone who's played a video game before, especially an RPG, you know what it's like hoarding health potions because you always think there's going to be a moment when you need them. And then you end up finishing the game with an inventory with a bag, like 6 bags of holdings full of health potions and whatnot and stuff that you probably should have used during the adventure, but you never did because you always thought you were going to use them. So, hey, it happens, but they're there on the table for you guys to use. So don't forget that they're there, and use them, and really encourage the viewers to drop those crit coins and buy some more.
All right. Well, it looks like it's going to be 2 weeks, so we're probably not due back till the 5th. Time to take a break for a session, and we'll be back 2 weeks to see if these guys can finish this wing of the dungeon and begin heading to one of the other wings.
All right, awesome. So you heard the man. Make sure you drop back in at twitch.tv/CretinMiss right here for the next episode 3 of White Plume Mountain, because it's just starting to get heated up. I'm just looking at the map right now, and I have absolutely no idea how you're gonna make your way through this, because that is a ridiculous amount of giant scorpions, crayfish, sea lions, and it's just anyway. But you've pulled crazier tricks out of the bag, so you can still make it out of here. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait 2 weeks to find out. In the meantime, if you want to see more awesome D&D content, make sure you head over to YouTube and look up Big Game Small Pieces for class reviews, race reviews, adventure reviews, and not just 5th edition. We're talking about everything, 3.5 and all that kind of stuff as well. So if you want to check out more D&D content, that's where you're going to find it. What else can they expect to see on your channel, Luke?
Myself and Mitch from Monk's Mates have started getting into Spelljammer, and we're starting to also look at what 1D&D holds for it.
Yes, that's. I think you recently released or chucked up a video on your YouTube about 1D&D, a little bit of an explanation about what that means for those people who have not been here for the previous transitions from one edition to another. So a bit of sage advice for you, for the viewers is amazing. Also wanted to give a huge shout out to Mark Hillman, Mark Hillman Music on Twitch. Check him out. He is the DM here for Tales from the Rogueslight Tavern, and he also has his own Twitch channel. It's been a little bit more quiet of late because he's been doing a lot of things in the background, but he does the occasional live music stream where you can jump on and request songs, which is pretty cool. And he's really good. He's amazing. He's talented. Talented in the way that I can only hope or aspire towards. But who knows? Maybe one day. Other than that, make sure you join us this Saturday, actually, for the next episode of Tales from the Rogueslight Tavern, which is DM'd by Mark Hillman. And then on Sunday night, we have Shadows of Despair, our limited series Call of Cthulhu tabletop RPG adventure, which is run by Keeper Alicia from the Townsville Tabletop Guild. You should also check out the Valiant Odyssey podcast and Valiant Odyssey on Twitch. They do a lot of amazing stuff. And also check out Evildoer, thanks for the raid earlier on in the night. And for those guys who stuck around during my technical difficulties that I had midway during tonight's stream, I appreciate it. We love you all. Those people who followed tonight, welcome to the Critverse. And I think that's going to be a good place to call it a night. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Ben. Good night, everyone.
See you guys.